And if you've ever moved, changed jobs, or switched banks, you might have cash sitting in a government database right now. Old refunds, forgotten deposits, unchecked uncashed checks, or even a retirement plan from a past employer. The best part, you can search safely in minutes using official sites, and you don't have to pay anyone to do it. Joining us now for insight and some instruction is Laurence Sprung, founder of Mitlin Financial and the author of Financial Planning Made Personal. So good to have you with us this morning, Laurence. It's always a tasty subject and something we can action right away. How do people find out if they have unclaimed property?
Yeah, it's so easy. So the first thing I want to say before I tell them where to go is if somebody reaches out to you and tells you that they will do it for you and charge you, do not do that. Immediately go online. So there are official sites that you can go look at. For example, missingmoney.com is official free search backed by the state's unclaimed property programs. You could also Google, free unclaimed property and then put in your state. You put in your name and information and it will do a search. And I highly recommend checking multiple sites sometimes because, it should be across the board, but make sure you're checking on, missingmoney.com is a top one, as well as unclaimed.org. And you might be pleasantly surprised.
Very good point there about the security, going straight to the source. Those are official sources. How many people have unclaimed property?
Yeah, so in 2024, states returned almost $4.5 billion. That's real money going back to real people. And if you think about it, that is a large amount of money that goes unclaimed. But if you think about it, every time you move, you change banks, it's money that could potentially be left behind. I found a old security deposit for an apartment for a family member. Their name popped up when I was searching, and it was something that they totally forgot and was never returned to them.
Oh, incredible. Well, there you go. It may be yours all along and you just didn't know it. So any tips for finding out if you have really old or forgotten property, something, say, just you really could have lost way back when that you'd think you'd never recover?
Yeah, so I think the important thing is check any name that you've gone by that may have been on official record with a vendor, a bank, an apartment, anything of that sort, because you want to search. If you're a woman, you may want to, you should definitely search your maiden name, search via old addresses, and also look at even some common misspellings, because you may not even realize that when you open that account or set up that situation where that money was left behind, the utility bill, they may have misspelled your name. So check common misspellings as well, and you might find something that you didn't expect as well.
Yeah, and what about money from past jobs you've had? What kind of thing, how does that even happen that you leave money behind?
Yeah, so it's a new phenomenon because, many years ago, people went to work for the same company. They worked there 30, 40 years, they retired, and then they had their pension options, et cetera. Now we're seeing, people really jumping from job to job, and something that gets lost in the mix could be their 401k account or pension money from old jobs. And it's estimated that there are almost 30 million forgotten 401k accounts that total about $1.65 billion. I mean, this is big money. So, if you've changed jobs and you didn't move your 401k, or you weren't sure if you had one, there's ways to search for that too and see if there's lost retirement plan money behind as well.
Okay, yeah, and in terms of pension money, it's possible for people to have some kind of leftover pension money?
Yeah, if they didn't start cashing it out and they weren't notified, now if you leave a job or you leave an employer and you had a balance under $7,000, the employer could essentially push that money out of the plan. One of the reasons why they implemented that is to prevent people from forgetting those monies behind. But the government finally came up to speed. They created their own website to help people track down old workplace retirement plans, because this has become a huge problem. So if you've worked for somebody, you want to even check, maybe you feel like you've taken care of all your retirement money just fine, but it might be worth inquiring. Go to lostandfound.dol.gov. That's lostandfound.dol.gov. And that's where they're putting a listing together of old pension and retirement plans.
Great. And so we've got 3 websites now that you've recommended: missingmoney.com, unclaimed.org, and lostandfound.dol.gov. Laurence, as we're looking at this subject of tidying up your finances, checking around for anything, that missing change or, spare change lying around in a sense, what other tips do you have for folks out there who just want to get things in order? There's got to be a few other steps, I'm sure, that perhaps folks generally don't put into practice.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, if there's money out there that you weren't aware of, you should be looking. So, after they watch your show today, they should go do these searches and take a look. They could be pleasantly surprised. But, as we're in the new year, it's a great time to look at what you are doing proactively, and review your income, review your budget. That is probably one of the biggest killers for most people from a financial perspective, is budget creep, meaning that, they had a budget 2 years ago and now their budget has increased and they're really not sure where the money's going. That's something that you really want to look at as an annual basis to make sure that your budget is in line. And then look, if there's money left over each month, make sure you're allocating that to an area that's going to be helpful to you, whether that's your emergency savings account, an education fund, or even a retirement account that'll help you for your future.
And so many folks out there, as you said, are not doing that. And one reason, maybe it just sounds so dull. And I just think having this reminder for such a crucial thing is so useful. And I'll be taking note too. Thanks so much, Laurence Sprung. Good to have you with us this morning.
Thank you.